didn't give you the PDF before because I would rather you internalize the questions, think about the questions before you just copy, paste. I want you to actually learn, okay? So what we're gonna talk about now is the template for your trading plan. Everybody knows, oh, I need a plan. This is probably the most easy to do, yet still comprehensive. Because you can have a 30-page trading plan with pictures of markups and it's a playbook and it's a plan, it's all in one. Then you can have people that say their trading plan is like 3 sentences. This, I think, is, bless you, this is the best mixture of both. So I'm not going to linger on these questions unless you guys have questions about how to answer it. So that's where I want feedback from you guys, the next 4 slides. What days of the week do you trade? What hours of the day are your working hours? You already heard me reference what happens when you see a setup present to your game plan for the day that doesn't fit in your hours. Oh, I'm doing a coaching call, but my trade's on. It was in the Blackshirt Club last week. I was working on this PowerPoint. I saw along on SPX. I'm talking to Kurt, and he's like, bro, you should be in this trade. I'm like, I know, but it's out of my hours and I'm not focused. And it was a winner. I left money on the table, but it's not my working hours. So I don't feel like I missed anything, okay? The must-follow pre-trading routine that we just talked about, so it should be extensive at this point for everybody. What assets are you looking at, right? James has his game plan for the day. Tom has his game plan for the day. Yeah.
Question. Yeah. So for me, it's Captain to track a setup. I'm sure most of you have had it. So you're tracking a setup like 3-4 hours. Your session comes to an end. Then like 3 minutes or 5 minutes, pretty short after the session, you're ready to present.
Yeah.
And I've taken the trade. Then I lose, and then like there becomes the spiral of emotions. Okay, I've been waiting a while for this. Right direction, wrong timing, let me get in again, hit it with another 1%, then go down again. So would you ever consider checking the trade if it's like only 3 minutes outside the hours? Because if you get to answer, it is outside the hours.
Exactly. So the question is more, how disciplined are you? Could you do it? Yeah. Remember what Tom said. You could trade at the bar. You could trade at the park. You can trade at any moment, at any time of the day when markets are open. And if you trade crypto, like I know some of you guys do, you can do it 24/7. I'm sure your significant other loves that.
I think that's also where you have to, like, see, that's where discretion for me will come in.
Okay.
See, and I'll be like, well, I've been waiting the whole day for this.
Yeah.
I might take this. Will I be more pissed if this is a winner and I'm not in it, or if I don't take it?
I would add to that and say, like, if I have a coaching call, Ivan, and I'm going to go be busy, or if I have to do a podcast, I'm not going to do it.
Exactly.
But if it's 11 o'clock and I'm not working out that day at 12 o'clock and the setup is at 11:15 and I'm going to be there just working on other stuff, that can be put aside and I can focus on the trading, I'll do the trade. But that's with discretion as you continue to trade longer and longer. I would say for you specifically, bro, stick to your hours for another 6 months to a year, build more discretion, build more experience. Next year, maybe step into that flexibility.
I think for now this works as well, because when you start to apply discretion, sometimes you're not sure if that's an actual discretion or if it's your emotions. Or
right, is it wanting to trade? Right.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, what were you saying?
So for me, I think you can go the other way, because I completely get the discretion. I think that's definitely one way to go, is by saying, right, it's close, it's good, we'll do it. For me, it's expanding on your plan and just make it more comprehensive.
Right.
Say, right, I'm only going to take a trade an hour before. Like, say if you cut off at 4 o'clock, the last time I can take a trade is 3, because that gives me 4 candles on a 15-minute for the trade to play out. It's no different to trading into news.
So
treat it the same way.
Could do it on a demo account.
Yeah.
Build stats to it.
Or you size down, you have another rule.
Exactly.
Say, right,
That's what I
I'll
was gonna
take it, it's in at 4 o'clock, but I'll half the size.
And if you do that, then what are you doing? Gathering data.
Yeah.
Oh, I should adjust my trading hours because daylight savings right now, more trades are presenting at this extra time. I need to be here at this time. So I'm not going to wake up as early now. I'll give the hour on the back end. Something like that. You can't make that decision on no data. That's not a decision you would make on opinion or on feel. You would make that decision if you had some stats and some trades where you're consistently, like for me, I stop at 11 o'clock. If I see trades at 11:15 consistently, maybe I consider changing my routine. Go to the gym in the morning and then stay there and trade for the day. Now that I'm trading SPY and US markets, I've thought about that many times.
Correct. I agree, but I think the key is to have this pre-planned, not like
Exactly.
go. So
It's got to be pre-planned. Yeah. So that's your assets. This is important. What news events will you avoid trading into? Does anybody have questions about news events?
Yeah, I do.
Please.
I was pissed on the 28th. I see a short on SPX, and I didn't take it because it was basically on the 15-minute. It was half hour before a red news release, USD news release. I didn't take it, and it was a 1 candle TP, and I was pissed, and I wanted to ask you today, because I should know this myself when I get enough data. But just to begin, how long before news do you avoid? Because that was hard to take. It was a one candle.
That's a good question.
It was hard to see, but
Normally it's about, like Lee just said, it's about 15 minutes, because what we'll see, it depends on the
like,
news
I had
event.
2 candles like
Yeah.
before we opened. I was
So-
like, should I was really on the border.
Bro, I see it all the time.
Yeah.
Longs going into the market open, I could be long into the open takes
Yeah.
off, right? It depends on the news event. So if it's like right now, CPI,
CPI, yeah.
is big. Why? Inflation is the talk of the world.
Yeah.
Go back to when Trump was president and inflation was low in America, inflation was low everywhere, money was printed everywhere. Nobody cared about CPI. When I got into trading, nobody cared. Who traded through it, it really didn't do anything. So you have to know the macro. What's important right now? Are jobs numbers really important? They're a lagging indicator and they get revised every time. Yet the market is still volatile when it comes out. So is it an important news event for us as traders? Really, in my opinion, no. Don't talk to me about jobs numbers. I don't really care. But the volatility that comes with that jobs event is still important. So I want to know what news events not are important, but are volatile. What will create volatility? Because certain events, you'll start to see the market move 10 minutes before. Spreads can open up on Forex pairs and it can get hairy. So before the news, it's dependent on the event, but I would say 15 minutes is safe. After the news, I don't like to jump into trades even 5 minutes after the news because it can reverse. I want to see the candle close, and often I'll give it 15, 30, an hour sometimes if it is a CPI, because if CPI comes out hot, meaning inflation's going up, and the market comes down because the market then thinks, well, let's talk about US market, like, US 500. Markets come down because inflation's going to be hot. Hot inflation means that the Fed is going to probably hike rates or keep rates high for longer. Market doesn't want to hear that. So that would make me think if we drop on the news, we'll see follow through. Is that always what happens? No. So
I've seen you do that before, saying this doesn't even make sense.
It doesn't even make
This
sense.
happens and this should happen, and they both go in that way.
So then that's why the easy way to answer this question is high impact news events, those red folder events on Forex Factory, 15 minutes before and at least 15 minutes after.
Yeah, that's the thing, because I had 2 candles, and I'm like, I know if I'd lost,
Yeah, you'd be
I'll
pissed.
I'll be going, well, if I lost, I'd be like, did I take that out of emotion?
Right.
Or is it a rule? So I need to have a concrete,
You need a
to
rule.
start off at least, I need to have a concrete rule. Right, no, that's a rule. Like,
It's easiest for new traders, bro. Even like, I wouldn't say I'm new.
Yeah.
It's easiest for me to not trade news events.
Yeah.
It's so annoying when you think you have the macro picture perfect, like I just gave that scenario, and then it goes the opposite way. And we're sitting in the group chat like, what? Like, well, how does this make sense? Why is the market going down when we're now talking about cutting rates? That's supposed to be good for the market. And I heard this recently. Brian Shannon shared this guy who's on CNBC all the time, Jeff something. He was talking about that the stock market is forward-looking. The US 500, the US markets are forward-looking. Jobs numbers, CPI numbers, they are lagging numbers. They already happened. So that volatility that you're seeing is a lot of the time speculation from amateur traders. And what you'll see in Forex pairs, I believe, I don't work at a bank so I don't know, you'll see them use those news events to move price to a certain level, and then it will stay in a range at that level for a while until the next interest rate move. Forex pairs are heavily influenced by interest rates. So they're moving, like when CAD has inflation news and then it has its rate, what do they call it, the bank rate or whatever? You guys call it the bank rate here. When the bank rate changes, that'll move GDP somewhere, and it might trade in then a 400-point range for a long time. So I think, again, the easy answer is high impact news events, just avoid them for now.
I think I don't like nothing with Forex. For me, it's like, I don't like looking at pairs if they're negative, if you correlate.
Right.
I start going, well, if that's gone up, that should go down.
Right.
It's like, but it doesn't always do that.
Well, 'cause correlation is not 100%
I
of the
don't
time.
like look at USD, was it AUD
Yeah.
and USD CAD? I'm like, I want to just look at one,
Right.
and make a decision on that one.
On that one.
But I don't want that one to tell me what that one's
Well,
gonna
bro,
do.
you'll have people that'll be like, I'm going to buy UCAD and sell AU because they'll move in inverse. Well, they move in inverse, let's say 66% of the time. Bro, there's 44% of the time otherwise that you're wrong. And you're losing twice now. Like, you
Yeah.
lose double. So yeah, I think with this question, easy answer for most of you, just don't trade into high impact news events for now. Study them, mark them up, see how they react, and then you'll be confused like I am sometimes, and it doesn't make any sense, and it's fine. Make money when we're not dealing with that news event.
There's also no point. Sorry, Tom.
I was going to say there's 3 questions you're answering for me around news. If you're not in a trade, how long before high impact news can you take a trade? If you're in a trade and it's high impact news, when do you get out of the trade? And then how quickly after high impact news can you enter? They're the 3 rules that you need to answer in your trading plan.
I was just going to say, I think, especially if you're trading CFDs, right, the spreads can open really, really bad on you. So even if you're right, and it comes down and hits your take profit, you might only be like up like 0.2 or whatever it is, because the spreads widen so much. I mean, Tom was in a trade, was it last year, Tom, where you were in EU and you had a remaining piece on, and it came out with CPI and completely
Slipped you.
yeah,
Split me 41
So
pips
to
on
tell-
the take profit. I was up 2.7R at the time.
Yeah. I think the easy way is we are playing again in a wide market, right, everybody? And if we are retail traders at home, even if you're trading $10 million, you could argue $50 million. You're small. You're small.
Yeah.
So if you're small, the analogy would be big shark chomps on another big animal, and you're that little fish underneath the shark that picks up the crumbs. But those volatile events, there's so much going on between speculation, potential manipulation, potential just moves by banks to get price to where it needs to be in order to make more. There's so much happening. Stay away. That's the easy way. And like Tom gave really three good questions that could go underneath this that really would make that easy too. There's enough money to be made not trading news events that it never made sense to me to build a news strategy because there was no consistency. You have people that will literally put buy limits and sell limits in and try to pick this up. Bro, it's crazy. You could have just woken up and like, let's say you were trading pre-market and that news comes out at 8:30. I've had trades where I'm in the trade at 7 o'clock and then I'm out of the trade before 8:30 and I made my money in an hour and I don't have to worry about that. I've had that many, many times. And that's the goal. I think that's easy trading.
If you listen to the Twitter world telling you how much
Oh
they make
my
on
God.
news, it's always post
Nobody
screenshots.
loses on Twitter.
Post screenshots after it, just snag them like this.
I tweeted it the other day, you saw that. I was like, here come all the CPI screenshots
Yeah.
of people that made money and you'll
Yeah.
never see a single person that lost. I did it. That's crazy.
They didn't tell you about the other 5 times they lost.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's keep going. List of entry, any other questions about news? And we'll talk about it more in the technicals later. Any other questions about it?
And the news doesn't go through ADR frequently.
Right.
So you doesn't get a big move.
Right. Only certain news events will move it like that. A lot of other events will just create volatility, pins and stuff like that.
I think the big one though is it's just CPI,
CPI,
AMP, FOMC, and PPI.
Even GDP news will shake up the market. GDP, gross domestic product, it's important. People are looking at that, so they're going to make moves on that. But it won't be, like you said, like CPI right now is the thing. Interest rates are the thing. When the FOMC meeting minutes, Jerome Powell comes on, bro, stay away. I have a chart here we'll look at where you can see wins pre-market, entries before Powell, shake up on Powell, you lose, and then it ends up higher. This is what I was going to say last point. That's where I've seen guys when I worked at T3 Live just take a fucking keyboard into the wall and just start because they're frustrated because they're trying to speculate on something that has so many variables. It's really hard to be right. So many people are playing the news. Entry signals that you're going to trade in order to stay on edge. Just list them. A1, A2, Anchor VWAP. We're going to get into the entries later today. Whatever you trade, you need to list it. Because then when your accountability partner comes in and says, hey bro, see you had a bad day, you tilted today, what were you trading? Well, you look at the trades and none of them are the entries that they wrote in the plan. We can point to that as like an area where we should be focusing on discipline. More questions. Again, I got 4 slides like this. You have the slides, you can take pictures, you can write them down. What is the take profit strategy you're using? What are the exit signals once you're in the trade? What are the signs to consider getting out of the trade when it's not working for you, when it's working against you? What are the signs for you to just stay out of the market completely? And that could be a long list. Talk about your habits, right? Talk about other things.
Yeah, that's a good one.
What are you doing off the charts to push continuous growth and self-improvement? A list of 15 things that Tom said to do when trading's not high, right? Diet and exercise. You know how many people in the Black Shirt Club just skip that question because they don't want to talk about it, when really that's probably so many other issues they have? You know how many people I've had to have conversations with in the Black Shirt Club about their sleep? Like grown men that pay $4,000 to be in a mentorship, and I'm talking to them about their bedtime. I'm serious.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, you want to do this business that is so, in a way, easy to make money, but in my opinion, this is the easiest, this is the thing you're supposed to love. Like you said, Lance loves his breakfast. I love my gym, right? Like, it's just so important. What will you do on the flat days in order to still stay productive? Similar to here, right? This is, I'm trading today, what should I know to stay out of? This is when I'm not myself, what am I doing?
Yeah, so for me, I use this one as like, if I've got a sleep score below 50, no trading.
Yeah.
Or if I went out and drinking the night before.
Body
whatever
shots the night
reason.
before.
Yeah, correct, and hungover, whatever it, like if I'm poorly, if I'm ill, like things like that. What is your no-go? I cannot trade today because my head's not there.
Can I ask what you guys are using for your sleep?
So I use Garmin.
Oh, right.
So I've got a Garmin
What are you using?
945.
Nine.
Whoop, W-H-O-O-P. Like whoop, there it is.
And that's just purely.
But sleep, workouts, everything. I never take it off. The
Ah,
charger
yeah.
literally slips on here. You don't have to take it off the charger.
I use an Apple Watch. You don't need.
Yeah, I've got an Apple Watch.
Yeah,
I don't know if it's sleep. I haven't even looked into it.
Bro, I bought my wife the Apple Watch, and then I was gonna get one myself, but like, the battery.
No, that's the thing. I charge it when I'm asleep.
Right, so that's why it doesn't make any sense.
You
This,
got a plan. You
Yeah.
got charge it during the day.
whatever, like, I literally have
Yeah, I need to take it to work.
this thing is the charger. It just,
Charge it by having something to eat.
How hard is that?
now we're charging. So you never have to take it off. So it's constantly gathering data.
Yeah, I know.
One thing that I've done on my trading plan is right at the end of it, I've got scenario analysis.
Oh, nice.
So it's like this scenario, what happens if it's bull market? You know, what if I've had a bad day?
Yeah.
What if I've had a good day? What
love
if this? What if I'm distracted?
love that.
All sorts of different
Love that.
scenarios. And
Does anybody else do anything else interesting like that to their own trading plan? What do you got? Share it.
Similar to this, I do like a pre-market breakdown.
Okay.
So I just do like possible scenarios, so maybe scenario one,
Okay.
I'll build a thesis around it. I might be bullish on that any of the day.
Yeah.
And then my only issue is, for example, yesterday, I said I was bearish on it, but I saw it come down to the level that I thought it was going to bounce from, and because of that, I didn't take a trade, I missed out on it. So I was wondering if it makes sense to build a thesis on maybe a bullish and bearish.
Multiple scenarios. Yep. That's and that, kind of like that game plan with the arrows on both sides. Yep. Laura, did you have your hand up too?
I have a lot of possible scenarios, but not about my emotions.
Technicals.
So, yes,
Yeah.
because if you can have the best leader in the world and then you wake up and he pisses you off.
Right. So you have, hey. He's like, oh, my job.
That's 90% of the time.
Yeah.
But see, like that. So it's good to have both technicals, plans, and then
When you don't sleep well either, like you wake up, let's say, yeah, your brain is not at full power, blah, 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 but you are super irritable. And you can take a small loss as a massive issue.
Yep.
And then you just, it's not, it literally just grows bigger and bigger, and then you just end up in a really massive mistake.
oh yeah, then you're doubling down and
So
going crazy.
whenever I'm not in my zen, then I need to know that I need to put some more steps in order for me to approach the market in the first place. So if we had a business meeting and it went badly, so I know that I cannot take my trades, for example, up until like half an hour after I have browsed the market, I have done my watching list, everything.
Yeah.
Because controlling my technical analysis is easier, but my main issue is controlling my emotions.
Sure.
In terms of like, okay, if I more when I lose, because I have issues with losing. So when I lose, now I have the okay, I just lost. How am I feeling? Am I okay? Am I okay to take another trade? Am I okay to take another loss? And little by little, like I've been just building sort of like a little bit more like steps into not going into my emotions, but like, yeah, it's just going in. And then just like building up that destruction
Right.
And
that's going to happen after.
And for me, I think Laura makes a great point that your trading plan is never a rigid document. It should always be a living and breathing document. And as you uncover new problems, you need to put new questions to find the solutions for that. So as you can see there, Laura said that she'd have a bad business meeting. She's now aware, because she's improved the awareness, that there's something not quite right, still wants to trade. I now need to put some safeguards in place. So she then goes through that checklist before she can start trading again. And that's how her trading plan will evolve and stay dynamic based on trying to fix problems before. Because she'll have done that before and it'll have just led to a load of errors. So by doing that, we improve this.
It's like creating a moat around your trade.
Exactly. Kind of protecting yourself.
Correct.
Yeah, protecting your account,
That's what trading is. 95% of trading,
which is what he just said.
surviving and
Survive.
protecting yourself.
It's like, especially when you have a system, in a second, you'll make money. You will take winning trades. It's about avoiding big losses. Not avoiding losses in general. Don't phrase it like that. It's taking losses well and avoiding big blowouts.
Yeah.
It's not about avoiding losses, and it's not about making money. Both of those things have to happen. It's these other like extremes on the bell curve. What were you saying, Rachel?
I was gonna like what she said too, because you have to find ways to safeguard it. Because for me, let's say, I don't know, emotionally, like something's going on back home and I have to deal with that. but for me, it comes into discipline.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care if I'm feeling fat, I still gotta go to the gym.
Yeah.
I still gotta eat the meals that I prepped and not just go for the ton of ice cream. That also means I still gotta get on the shorts and do what I gotta do.
Yeah.
But like, I agree with what you guys are saying, that like, if you're not there 100%, you're gonna lead to mistakes. So it is a hard balance between discipline and understanding yourself.
Self-awareness.
Yeah, and I like that too, about like, still being able to show up and find ways to safeguard.
Yeah.
letting you-
And that's what goes into studying self-awareness, so you can be more understanding of yourself, more compassionate to yourself. Stop being so hard on yourself, really.
Yeah.
A lot of us are really hard on ourselves. And again, you wouldn't think you'd be at a training seminar talking about being compassionate towards yourself, but it's true. If you give yourself that space to be flawed, you won't tilt when you make mistakes. What were you going to say, Ray?
Yeah, so just to piggyback, I think of, so if a trade does not go in my favor, I think about how am I going to take care of myself?
Yeah.
If this particular trade does not go well. So if it does not, some things that I might do is take a walk or treat myself to breakfast, do some gratification list of what I'm grateful for and how do I keep my mind from not wanting to come back the next day. Those are things, I just really try to take care of my mind because I'm not angry about losing money. It makes me second guess my strategy or my ability. That's what makes me panic, like my ability to do it. It's not so much as the money.
Exactly.
I think the gratitude thing is really powerful as well. Especially when you're down and you're pissed and you just want to blow everything up, you just say, well, actually, what's good?
What's good?
What's going
You're
on?
sitting at your desk trying to make money when you could be picking up trash. That's my reference because like what separates me from the garbage man?
Yeah.
That's what I do when I was on construction. I did dry lining and you just like wall out, insulation wall, you dry walls.
Yeah.
And then you can tell. And I, not pulling the glass in your teeth and that. I'm thinking, wow, you sat here being able to click buttons, be grateful for it.
Right.
And work from home. That's what
You can keep gratitude right next to respect. It's like if I'm going to be grateful for this, then I need to respect it and give it the time, the care, the conscientiousness that it deserves. Good on this slide? Sorry, on this one? Flat days, diet, got all this? Everybody got screenshots? Next one. How many trades per day are you going to take? If you win your first trade, what are you going to do? These are really good. If you're like Tom and you've been trading for a while, his might look a little different. This is designed for the guys who have not had a year of making money yet and confidently making money. These are the questions you need to have. I wholeheartedly believe that if you were a new trader and you took the entire year, traded a winning strategy at 1R, and stopped after you won the first trade, you make money that first year and you'd be top 1%. Who makes money their first year trading? Nobody. But who's going to be disciplined enough to not overtrade, to not go for more, to follow these rules? Most people won't. So if you're, again, in the first couple of years of wanting to string wins together, if you win your first trade, what are you going to do? If you lose your first trade, what are you going to do? So that way when you talk to me or your accountability partner and you say, hey, James, I lost my first trade and then I took 3 other trades. James will look at your trading plan and say, your plan tells you that after you lose the first trade, you have 1 more try or you have 0 more tries and that's it. You broke your plan. So do we need to adjust the plan or do we need to talk about your discipline? What events will you trade through that are news-based, right? So kind of the opposite of that other question. Low impact news events. Right now, like unemployment claims news in the US has become a red folder news event, but it doesn't do anything really to the market. So that's where you just have to have experience to know I'm going to trade through that. Which news events will you close out, right? There's one of Tom's questions from before. And how will you handle the New York stock market open and then the London open? Because that's where you'll have volatility always come in. 3 a.m. New York time, 9:30 New York time. Okay? These 2 are my most important questions on this one. If you don't answer these questions, you don't care enough about your trading. That's simple.
Actually, may I ask you what's the answer to these questions for you?
Right now, if I win my first trade, I'd probably stop trading for the day. Even me right now.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm making money. That's why I got funded again last month. If I lose my first trade, I will take 1 more trade, and it can be the same pair, same direction. Same asset, same direction. But that's it. Win or lose, that's where I'm done. So now my accountability partners know if they ever look at my daily report card and I have 3 trades, something's up. Either I was really confident or I had some time. Hopefully I made money that day, but I must have won all of them. Because if I lost the first one, and then I lose the second one, and then I take a third one, that's breaking my plan.